Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's a bit of a late night stream for me. It's what, quarter after 9 p.m. my time. So it's gonna be a little bit shorter of a stream. But I know that, like, if I don't even throw up, like, the occasional short stream from time to time, then I'm going to stop streaming. Again, for another few weeks. Because, like, that's the thing about, like, last week is that, like, I had time that I could have streamed. I just didn't really have the energy or the enthusiasm to do so. And then, after it was so long, it was, like, a week and a half before I had, like, a full day, a full waking day, where I was like, oh yeah, today I could stream. I just didn't feel like streaming. So I need to stream as regularly as I can, even if it's not for, like, super long periods of time. Like, I don't have to do, like, a 6 to 12 hour stream every single day, but I'm starting to feel the pressure a little bit. And here's why. I don't really have a good picture of this. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see, what was it? Was it up here? I guess we could do it like this, right? You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Alright. You folks don't know what I'm talking about, but I promise things will make a little bit more sense here soon. Where is... No, that's all text, huh? Okay, let's do it like this then. I think I have a clip. Let's see. This is going to be horribly outdated. Obviously. Because, you know, it was made at the beginning-ish of the year. Let's see if I can do this without doxing myself. Show me this. And let's go ahead and we'll hide my logo and my text so that it's not visible. So, no, go back. Go back past me. There we go. So this was my game plan for the year. The beginning of the year, I did this in the 5th of January is when I made this list. And I made good progress on it. Stop past me. I made good progress on it. We did Pharaoh, we finished Slasher's Keep, we did a large chunk of Majesty 2, we did a large chunk of Caesar 3, which is not on this list, and of course, we're also working on Dyson Sphere Program right now. Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is pretty much on indefinite hiatus at this point, although I need to go back to that game as well. I haven't really done anything for Spooky October. It didn't really do well last year. I was hoping to do Season 2 of Voices of the Void, and that could, like, double. Because I was expecting the Voices of the Void next update to be in, like, July or August, and then it just never manifested itself. And it still has not manifested itself. But we'll discuss that here in a second. So here's why I'm getting a little bit concerned. I want to have, like, a clear or a mostly clear docket by the end of the year. We're not going to have Dyson Sphere Program done. We're just not. There's so much we still need to do, so much we're going to do, and so much that I want to do in that game. in this game, the game that we're playing today. But I really, really, really need to finish Caesar 3. I need to make an effort to finish Majesty 2. Here's where the problem is. When Voices of the Void comes out, when the next big update for Voices of the Void comes out, I'm probably going to play that game non-stop until I'm done with Season 2. Because that game is amazing. I haven't played that game for over a year at this point, and there's a lot in that game for me to see. And the last thing I heard was it was going to be released around Halloween, which literally means any day between now and, I mean, arguably like November 11th and November 12th would be my guess. So that doesn't really give me a lot of time to finish the games that I want to play. The other thing is that, like, here, let's just change this all back. Oh, not that. We haven't seen that in a long time. Where? There it is. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, we really don't have a lot of time to get all of the games done that I want to get done. But also, I just really want to play more Dyson Sphere Program. I've been pretty well hooked on this game for the last few weeks. And it's starting to pay dividends. We're finally starting to get into the meat of the game. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may just have to concede that I'm not going to get everything done that I want to get done this year. I have the space to. Apparently, even though I panned to the screen, I'm going to continue talking. But I have a little bit of a gap between my backlog and Outer Wilds that I'm going to need to fill. And it'll probably be Caesar or Majesty 2. I'm not quite sure yet. But, yeah, it's just a matter of doing it. And right now, all I really feel like doing is playing Dyson Sphere Program. And being bad at Dyson Sphere Program. But, whatever. It is what it is. Let's hop back into the game, shall we? So, I did creep in briefly the last time, after the stream last time. And I changed the coloration of the Dyson Sphere panels. I made them a brown color to kind of match the coloration of my channel a little bit more. I don't really know why my channel has become indicative with a brown coloration, but I guess I'm to blame for that, yeah. I guess I'm to blame for that. Ooh, we're starting to actually get solar sails shot back out again. So yeah, there's still a whole mess of things that we need to do. There's still a lot of work we need to do, and I think this time what we really, really, really need to do, there's two things we need to do. First things first, we need to set up these graviton lenses, which means we're going to have to set up strange matter production, and we're probably going to have to craft more diamonds. So in order to make these, we need to make these strange matter containers, which require these particle containers, which requires graphene, copper, and electromagnetic turbines. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. And then we need to feed it into a particle collider with iron and deuterium to craft the strange matter. And then from there, diamonds are fairly easy to make. So let's start step by step. First things first, we need to craft these particle containers. So the easiest place to do that would probably be somewhere down here. These are the regular engines. Okay. So it looks like we're going to have to expand our production on regular engines, because these aren't moving at full capacity. So here's what we're going to do. Just run this like that. Yes. Okay. And then let's build a few of these guys. I don't have the processors to do that. That's okay. I don't know why I choose to do it that way. I'm just weird, I guess. So the engine production should be less of an issue once we cap out on sorters. We have 5,000 sorters. For comparison, when we replaced all of the sorters on the planet, we only replaced about 700 of them. So we are really making more sorters than we will probably ever need. I shouldn't say ever, but at least in like a reasonable capacity. For the time being, for the foreseeable future. But that's okay. That's all right. But as long as we increase our production of engines, we shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Upgrade.
We'll need those engines anyway, probably for other things. There we go. Nice.
Replication complete.
All right, let's expand this out then. I should really work on setting up a bunch of blueprints to make my life a little bit easier, but yeah, when have I ever done the intelligent thing? We have basic blueprints that technically work. Although we should probably update them with the higher tier stuff that we now have. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll run this. This is going to be a little bit weird here at the end. Do I have to do... So it has to go in here. So I have to do something like that.
Upgrade complete.
I mean, I guess that technically works. Whatever, that's fine. What are you missing? What are you struggling with? You just don't have an output? Okay, that makes sense. There we go. Okay. So that should help this. We can also add like one more to the end of this. This won't be a significant change, but it's still one more. And that's pretty handy. go. So that should improve the production of those engines. I could actually probably... Let's see. If I got rid of this... Replace it there. Okay. That'll add a few more to the line. This isn't fancy in any way, but it helps the problem. So that's good. What's the problem over here? I can move that sorter down. Move it down to there. There we go. Excellent. This is a gross jank mess, but that's okay. It was always going to be a gross jank mess. Okay. So that should improve our production of the electromagnetic turbines. Not significantly, but hopefully it'll be enough to at least gain a little bit of a backlog, because we're immediately going to go and use them. We're just immediately going to start using them in another project. Somewhere. Somehow. How are we getting these out? I mean, I guess I could just bring them up this way. There's already turbines coming up this way. So, all I really have to do is bring this line? I don't know how I feel about that. Would I feel a little bit better if I put a splitter here? I'm not sold. Actually, I don't feel too bad about that, and I'll tell you why. Again, this assembly system is not going to be running forever. It's just not. We don't need that many sorters. So we're going to spend long periods of time where we're just not going to have that many sorters. So what we can do, this uses a lot of the same things as the things that we're using up here already anyway, right? Copper, graphene, and engines. So the hard part's going to be the copper, and then for the actual particle, the deuterium. Do we have copper? We have copper right here. The deuterium is going to be a little bit harder. We may have to run a long line. I mean, the deuterium is just right here. Okay, I say it's just right there. That's actually a lot farther than it looks. Okay, let's work on this part first, shall we? What do we need to build this in? We need to build this in a replicator. Okay. So, we need a bunch more replicators. And we need a bunch of graphene. Not all of it, just like 200. We'll do 400. We use graphene a lot. We have so much ammo. And we also have a crap ton of solar sails, and that's okay because we're going to use them. going to use a lot of them. $320 megawatts? And how much are we tapping into? Probably not that much, honestly. Yeah, each of these can make a maximum of like 15 megawatts when they're like fully charged. So we're definitely not tapping into that much energy. In fact, I think it does show you, doesn't it? Yeah. So this is how much energy the swarm is generating. This is how much we're requesting. So we're at about roughly half as much as we're generating. And once we start like loading up on batteries, we're going to need a lot of absorption. And by absorption, I mean like a lot of energy absorption from the things. Okay, bring out your graphene. Actually, we could just put a splitter in here. Yeah. Wait, are these getting proliferated? What? Why? Why am I bad at my job? There we go. Now they're being proliferated. We'll plop a splitter in there. Excellent. And we'll bring this out this way. Like that. One thing that I need to get better at doing is I need to stop building north-south supply chains. Like, let me see if I can find a good example. It's not so bad down here by the equator, but if you recall correctly, like, when I was putting in some of these, like, especially this guy right here, you see how this line, like, shifts to the left because of the curvature of the planet?
Mineral depleted.
That can cause obnoxious things to happen. I'm gonna have to go take a look at that, but for now we're just going to pin it. Okay, so after that, we also need the copper, which we're going to just kind of create our own little copper factory up here to utilize this copper. But yeah, if you build lengthwise and you don't go over the curvature of the planet, it makes things line up a lot more easily. Usually. Generally speaking. Okay. So let's squeeze. Not really a good place to put this guy, is there?
Replication complete.
I guess we can put it there. And there. We're not really going to be using a lot of this copper. I mean, eventually we probably will use all of it in the grand scheme of things. But not at the moment. And we're going to run it this way, along with this. And we should have a blueprint for this. Gimme. Basic smelter blueprint. You know, this uses tier 3 sorters. I should really upgrade these blueprints. We will. We will upgrade them. There we go.
Insufficient materials.
Ooh, I don't have any stone. That's a bummer. I know I have a bunch of stone floating around somewhere. Yeah, we just grab some of this.
Insufficient materials.
There we go.
Flight mode.
Overall, this is probably way too much copper, but that's okay. How's our Dyson swarm looking? I think it's behind the planet again. It sure is. It looks really cool, though. That's so cool! I like this game. This game's fun.
Replication complete.
Alright. Let's get rid of these sorters. Oops, I didn't mean to replace the arc smelter down there. Whatever, it's fine. We'll just rebuild it. Alright. Is this going to be enough? Ore coming in? Maybe, maybe not. I can always pile this. So if I put a piler...
Insufficient materials.
The only reason I'm thinking about pilers is that you can't pile them coming right out of the mine unless you use these pilers.
Insufficient materials.
And pilers are cheap, so it's not a big deal.
Insufficient materials. Replication complete.
All right. So we bring this out, and we bring this around. That will pile it too high. Yep. Same here. That's all too high. And then when I bring it in here, once I actually power that, it should pile it to be 4 high. There we go. That should be way more than enough production, or enough ore for this line then. Now we shouldn't have to pile it. Yeah, the pile sorter should bring it out automatically piled. In theory. So how do we want to proliferate this? I guess we can bring it out this way and then bring it over. Bring it over like this. And we can proliferate it there.
Insufficient
We do need
materials.
more proliferator, though. Ooh, we actually need more silicon. Okay. Well, let's go grab some silicon then, shall we? We have plenty here. Okay, we don't need that many. We don't need that much silicon.
Replication complete.
There we are. Okay, and then we should be able to just wrap this around. Basically continue this down and around. Oh, oops. I thought it was going the other way. Don't mind me. There we go. Okay, so that should proliferate that. Alright, and then the final touch should be the engines. Yes. Which we should be able to grab from... Not here. Here.
Replication complete.
Yes. And these are already proliferated. I'm gonna run this the whole way down. That way all of the lines are going the same way in case I decide to expand on this somehow. It's a little bit silly to do it like that, but whatever, it's fine. As always, we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for, you know, it being what it is. We're just here to chill. We're just here to have some fun. Build some Dyson spheres. Let's just build a bunch of these. I know we use a lot of them. We should be getting close to an upgrade for them. I've mentioned before, down here, these satellite power distribution systems, they're really good. They're really good. And we are quite close to them already, but we're not going to go for that just yet. We're going to go for these. We need to start working towards quantum chips and the gravity matrices so we can actually progress in the game. What a novel concept is that? There we go. All right. So that gives us all these purple guys.
Replication complete.
So which way is this going? Is this going... It's going this way. Alright. So we can move this down here a little bit farther. Because this is actually the end of the line down here for this. We can do that. Nice. Alright, now we need particle accelerators. We can afford to build 2 of them. The big thing that's taking us the longest time are the structure frames. These guys. We are definitely going to want to mass produce these at some point. Carbon nanotubes, titanium alloy, and high purity silicon in an assembler. Because we're going to need them for the next part of our sphere, which is the actual frame pieces. I think that's here. No. That's here. Yes. So we need processors, solar sails, and frames for that. We definitely have a lot of solar sails. That's for sure. We have processors here. So it would just be getting the silicon up here. And what's the best way to do that? The closest source of silicon is probably here. Teleon Death, how's it going? Did I tick off the hive? Marginally. Threat's going up a little bit. Yeah, I have the weekend off. This is my vacation time. It's a little bit of a vacation anyhow. I've been on vacation in the last couple of days. Tomorrow I have Dungeons and Dragons though, so my vacation is almost over. Fortunately / unfortunately. Okay. Well, we can work on frames actually. We could just bring the silicon up. Like, it's gonna be a long line, but who cares at this point? We have so many belts that we just have so many belts. Like, it's gonna be a long path, but who cares? It's alright if it's going to be a long path.
Mineral depleted.
We're going to have to check on those iron veins eventually. And the copper veins. Okay. So I'm thinking we could put our frame production in here.
Replication complete.
I'm out of foundation. That should be fine. Yeah, I'm just going to start working on these frames while we continue on other things so that they can kind of build up a little bit. Okay, so what else do we need for the frame? Silicon, we need carbon nanotubes and aluminum. Oh. Carbon nanotubes, titanium, alloy, and silicon. Those are actually things that are not up here. So, my memory is bad.
Light mode.
Unfortunate. So carbon nanotubes and aluminum is over here. We should have carbon nanotubes in here. Although we don't actually have many being produced right now. And by we don't have many being produced, I mean we don't have enough being produced. The aluminum frames are also here. So I guess we're gonna have to get silicon over here. Which actually should be super simple. Okay. Alright. That's workable. We just need a lot more carbon nanotubes.
Replication complete.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It may be about time that I put an end to my thermal plants. I don't think I want to do that just yet. But if you look here, I mean, my Dyson Swarm has already taken up the majority of the resource load on this planet, at least as far as the power load goes. And the fusion plant is also doing quite a lot with much less materials. And it's not also literally burning coal, which is a resource that I'm going to need more and more of as time goes on.
Flight mode.
But it's something to think about for the future. And by something to think about the future, I mean I'm going to completely forget about it and never talk about it again. Nah, it's fine. I have plenty of energy. Okay. So now we need to make the green ones. Where's the green ones? Right there. These guys. So for these, we need iron ingots, we need deuterium, and we need these particle containers that we just built a bunch of. Although, why did it stop? Oh, it's missing the engines. We're not producing enough engines. Okay. Not these engines, funnily enough. Oh no, actually it is these engines. Wait. What's going on here? Why are you not being productive? You're out of copper? Is that what the crisis is going on here? Ah, it is. We're running out of copper here. Oh, this is awkward. Well, we just have a bunch of copper. We have a lot of copper right here, actually. It's a little bit awkward, but we might be able to mine that out and just funnel it right in. Let's come down here and grab some frames first. Just a stack. Here we go.
Flight mode.
Okay, so we need to feed the copper into here. Which is going to be a little bit awkward because of the overlap in the supply lines here, but we may be able to fix that with some adjusting here. Just to give us a little bit more breathing room. There we go. Okay. I like how we're at the point of just like mass terraforming the planet. It's not gonna be too much longer before we just like land on a planet, plop down 10,000 foundation to fill in the ocean, and then move on with our lives and profit. There we go. This was inevitable to start happening. Okay, we need to, like, shimmy it over. Can we just, like, go over everything? We can.
Flight mode.
Now, we could hook it right into here, but the proliferator's there, so I want to try to get it to where the proliferator is. This is still going to be a problem, huh? What if we did this one first? And then brought that over. Yeah, there we go. Excellent.
Flight mode. Flight mode.
This isn't a long-term solution, but hopefully that should solve some of this issue. We can also just upgrade these. Very marginally improve the efficiency of those guys. Because realistically speaking, the efficiency differs between the Mark I assembly machine and the Mark II assembly machine. It's only 25% increase. Rip Ruben, how's it going tonight? Welcome to the party. I'll be completely honest with you, I wasn't expecting anybody to show up because of how late it is. Or it's late for me, at least. It's 10 p.m. And it's going to be a bit of a shorter stream, too. So... okay, we could build a couple more of these. And we can move this conveyor out a bit. That way we can get rid of that.
Replication complete.
There we go. Excellent. I'm still a little bit worried about this. I feel like we need more copper entering the system. Which, I mean, again, the answer is always just to build more, typically. It's going good. You just finished the 1.5 hour 1 versus 1 with Skyshade on Kaiomet. Is your first ever 1 versus 1 too? Did you win? I mean, it's okay if you didn't win. It's it's a game played for fun. But I was just curious. You won? That's good. That's great. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that I'm feeding all this copper into a system that really couldn't have handled it. Basically, all of my copper up in this upper area is supplied by these 5 smelters, and that's not that's not enough copper. A spoiler warning. It's shocking, I know.
Replication complete.
There we go. This is gonna be super tight. But that's okay. In the name of SBA? Yeah. I kind of avoid all the clan stuff in Kaiomet. It's not really my scene. I mean, I do it in other games too. Like, you're never going to see me join an open front clan, for example. It's just too much drama. Too much drama for my tastes. It can get heated. Look, I've read the comments on the Discord. It can get extremely heated. There's no a little bit heated about it. It can get extremely heated. Extremely aggressively heated. Alright, so that should dramatically increase the amount of copper entering this northern area. Hopefully it'll be enough. I have some concerns, but it will at least be better than it was before. And that's important. There we go. There's a giant clan war between SBA, URE, and SDA, and the smack talk is crazy. Yeah, I noticed. It's part of the reason why I'm kind of glad that I just stay out of that stuff. Again, people enjoy it. People have fun doing clan stuff like that, and I don't begrudge them for that. It's just not my scene. It's just not something that I... Look at that. That's so cool. Look at that. 20,000 solar sails. Wow. I should have just one of these. Let's see. These two are really close together. See if I can find out which one it is. Is it this one? I think it's this one. This one we need to bring, like, around to here, I think. No, not quite that. That. Then maybe a little bit more of an orbital inclination. Not 90 degrees. 90 degrees look a little bit unnatural. My Dyson Sphere is looking good. This isn't a Dyson Sphere yet. This is just a Dyson Swarm. There's a bit of a subtle difference. The Swarm will deteriorate over time. You can see these red ones over here. This is how much time the solar sails have left. So over here, any solar sail that hits this line goes away and dies. So there's like 40 some here that are, you know, starting to run out of time. And these are the ones that I just fired. Up to 9,000 seconds. So they do last a very long time. They last about a little bit more than 2 hours. It's like 2.5 hours, I think. But they do deteriorate over time. And that's why if you look online and read like suggestions for Dyson spheres, a lot of people just ignore the Dyson swarms and go straight for the spheres because they view this as wasteful. Just shooting a solar sail into orbit so it deteriorates is kind of wasteful. I don't really see it as wasteful personally, unless you can't use the energy, which, well, I can't use the energy. So maybe it is a little bit wasteful, but it looks cool, dang it, and that's the important part. But there is only one thing we care about here, and that's that our Dyson Sphere/Swarm looks cool. Okay, so for our next part, to build these gravitron lenses, these guys, graviton lenses, we need strange matter. We need deuterium. Swarm is technically more scientifically accurate if you're not mistaken, since it would be pretty hard to build a giant metal sphere around a star. Yeah, I don't know if it's impossible to build a Dyson Sphere, but it's definitely something that's more advanced than you would think that it would be upon first glance. Because you basically have to solve a problem of, like, the sphere collapsing under its own gravity, basically. Okay, so here's the thing. We have deuterium here. We have iron here. We don't have enough iron here, but we can fix that. It's actually a pretty easy fix. We'll just add more production. Now, these aren't going to do anything just yet, but when I pull this line out of the chaos, somehow... There we go. It will continue producing and it'll be fine.
Upgrade complete.
There's almost certainly better ways to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in this game. You don't need spaghetti belts running along everywhere. In theory, what I could do is send all of the deuterium and iron into one belt coming this way, and then I could use, what is it, a traffic monitor? Or is it just a pile sorter?
Mineral depleted.
I don't remember. There's definitely a way to sort multiple different resources on the same belt. I just don't like doing that because it means that I can't do things like this easily, where I just, like, pull a string to pull the same resource forward.
Flight mode.
Okay, I should also check out what veins are being drained. Oh no. Well, that's probably not good. Okay. Well, we can move this forward. That's only going to get a little bit more iron out of that, though. I don't think I have an easy way to get more iron into here. Maybe I do. Where is this iron ore
Flight
going?
mode.
It's all going into here. We may be able to run this line around. We're gonna have to send it the whole way over there. Okay. Let's do it. Why not live chaotically? We just gotta be careful because we want to build in this area eventually. This is mostly a stopgap. Eventually, we're going to have to decommission a lot of this stuff and probably use it on another planet or something. Either that or we're going to have to start shipping resources in, which has its own drawbacks. But for now, at least, we should be able to run this through. And we'll be able to keep this line on life support for at least a little bit longer. Funny thing, though, is that I want it to go over here and then hook into there. There we go. Alright. Crisis averted for now. Chaos is your second language. So the next problem we're going to have is probably not that copper, actually.
Flight mode. Research complete.
Probably this iron over here. Yeah. Well, I mean, that iron feeds into that, right? So that actually shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay. Let's... We don't have green tech yet. Let's grab quantum chips.
Flight mode.
Alright. We can turn off these warnings now.